Welcome to a sports betting podcast from pregame.com for November 12th, 2009. I'm your host, RJ Bell. I'm joined by Vegas Runner, a genuine professional bettor here in Las Vegas, and Marco D'Angelo, 30 years in the business, but 46 years in Pittsburgh. And that's what we're going to be talking about here. Big game preview, segment 3 of 6, Pitt Panthers against Notre Dame. First up, line report.
All right, the line opened up Pitt as a 6.5-point home favorite with a total of 56. As of today, Pitt is anywhere from 6.5 to 7 with the total 57.5. They will get the 7 pretty much everywhere by Saturday. The public money is coming in on Pittsburgh as expected.
Okay, so you make an interesting point, is talking about the way you expect the line to move. And that's something that is really under-discussed by sports bettors, is if you have an idea of which way the line's going to move, it can make you inclined to bet early or late in the week. And it's just common sense. If you're playing the favorite, you think the line's going to go up, you play earlier. Now, that's an example of a real limitation if you only play with a local book, because you can usually only bet on game day. So if you're actually looking to play offshore, you should check out pregameaction.com, and there's all kind of good deals there and everything. So one of the things you do, VR, is you try to predict which way the line's going to move. And last week you started a new blog. It's Line Predictions.
Yep.
And you picked 15 games.
Yeah, last week I saw 15 games that I thought I could accurately predict
which way the line was going to go. One of them stayed flat, didn't move. So of the 14 games that moved, how many times were you right?
13. And that's not the norm. Like, the goal here is to hit 6 out of 10, because if you could get the best number on 6 of 10 bets, you've increased your winning percentage on that alone.
That's a great point. 6 of 10 is the goal, but again, for the first week,
yeah, not bad,
14.
not bad. And people don't do it enough because they think you're guessing, or there's not a science
involved. Well, they
involved.
probably are guessing.
Yeah, and there is.
But what I'm saying is your connection.
Absolutely, and it's very important. And I think being able to accurately assess what the marketplace is going to do is a huge part of my success.
So you can just go to pregame.com and click on blogs, and every Thursday the line predictions are going to be put out by Vegas Runner. All right, Mr. Pittsburgh. Now, again, you look at these Pittsburgh games, both in pro and college, from a lot of different angles. So give us an angle or two that you're really considering.
Well, I'm going to give you the 2 biggest factors in the game when you start to break this game down. And as you said, I am Mr. Pittsburgh. We've got great success with games involving Pittsburgh going with and against 43-19 in 2009. That's all sports. And we did have the Steelers on Monday. This is going to be a big play for me this weekend, but I'm going to give you the 2 points that you got to decide what's the key. And if you get this answer, you've got the winner in this game.
Are you getting bored?
A little bit. I got a free play.
You got an official play on
this.
You're give us the points
real soon.
Notre Dame has not faced an offense as balanced as Pitt's all year. Pitt has not faced a quarterback the caliber of Clausen all year. Those are the 2 factors in this game. It's the 2 strong suits. That's going to determine the game, who wins that question.
All right, so you've got an official free
Absolutely.
pick. So what we do is we give out one. We usually preview 6 games, and we each give out 1 pick on one of the 3 or the 6 games. So this is an official pick.
Yes, it is.
Hit us.
And the last 2 weeks, the free play here has been on my client card, and I think this one will as well. I like Pitt here. I'm going to wait. Excuse me, Notre Dame. I'm going to wait and take Notre Dame plus the 7 points. I don't think we'll even need the 7. This game will be a lot closer. The biggest factor to me in this game, RJ, is value. We're getting so much value on Notre Dame based on their loss to Navy last week, which the final score is not indicative of how the game went. 3 turnovers by Notre Dame was the big reason for that. And more importantly, looking at what the line was for this game back in August, back in July, Notre Dame would have been a 1-point favorite in this game. Now all of a sudden they're a 7-point dog. I think this line should be around 3, a field goal tops, and I'm going to grab the points with Notre Dame.
All right, now I'm always surprised to hear Notre Dame and
value, yeah, in the same sentence.
They're always an example, Notre Dame, of a team that we say, oh, there's a premium.
Yeah.
You've got those Notre Dame lovers. So now what makes me like your pick a little bit is the fact that in the last 4 meetings with these teams, the underdog has covered all 4. So for whatever reason, the road dog, and I think the road team was the dog in all 4 of those games, has been covering. This number seems high to me. Now, again, we were talking at lunch. You think the number seems low to you, Marco?
Well, when you're looking at the situation with rankings, Pitt is a ranked team. They're a top 10 team, and they came out under a touchdown. The line opened at 6.5, playing an unranked team. Generally, that's a good spot to look at the dog the way I look at games, because to me, Vegas is trying to get you to lean to one side.
One of your specialties is you look and try to figure out what Vegas is trying to nudge you towards, and you go the other way. So you see them nudging towards taking, well, then it would be Pitt right now. You're saying the line seems short, and it looks like Vegas wants you to play Pitt.
They want you to play Pitt. Now, the only thing that I'll say with that is when one of the two teams is one of those so-called marquee teams that always has built-in value, it slants the
built-in following.
Built-in following,
yeah.
right.
So it's the opposite of that.
The reason, though, that the line's only 7, Marco, 6.5, 7, is because the public believes Pitt's a good team, but the odds maker doesn't. The AP and USA Today has Pitt 8th and 9th in the country. Oddsmaker poll has Pitt at 21. That's why this team's 5-1 ATS their last 6, because the oddsmaker doesn't respect them. They've been a favorite, but they've been covering as a favorite. Flip side, look at Notre Dame. The reason I think there's value, even though they're a marquee team, is because they're 2-7 against the spread this year. No one's making money back in this team.
And we talk about that every week. Is a number like 2-7 in season. If we give a stat and we say, oh, over the last 10 years, Jim Tressel teams are this or that.
Right.
That is, no one remembers what they bet 4 years ago.
Right.
But when you have an in-season trend,
1-7 the last 8 games, so the last 2 months
is the bat every week. You have less people that want to back this team, because how many times I'm a pretty disciplined batter, but when I
can't
lose
beat me 8 times.
Yeah, when I lose my 3rd or 4th game with the team, I've been on the Giants, for a while. I'm off the Giants for a little while. They got to show me something.
Yeah, that's
right.
Me too.
And so when it's an in-season trend that is a streak that isn't about saying, oh, if they're an underdog, if they're a favorite, but if it's just plain, how has this team done ATS most recently? That's not only a piece of paper, that's money. That's another kind of paper that people are going to be affected by. So you're saying maybe the reason there's value on Notre Dame is the fact that with their ATS record, that people just are so disinclined to have bet them.
Exactly.
Speaking of this being your official free pick, how have you been running on it? You've been doing well in the free pick.
The first time I've come out of the Big 12, I think in like 5 weeks, I'm 7-1, I believe, on free picks, 6 straight winners.
Awesome. So this is another one. Okay, now you had a really hot. We try not to tout too much here. You went 7-0 on Saturday.
Last Saturday in college football. Yes,
7-0.
Yes, sir.
And you're hot in the NBA.
Yes, sir.
And you've identified. Tell us about it for Saturday.
I'm dropping a bomb on game of the year on Saturday.
So your one and only game of the year.
That's it. And the truth is, I'm only doing it because I'm straight with my guys and want them to know when I make a big play. I lost my last game of the year on the World Series on the Phillies. I won the baseball season game of the year, but lost the World Series. So if anything, I was going to sell this week after going 7-0. I'm not putting out a game of the year to sell it. I'm putting out a game of the year because I found a game that I'm going to bet big on, and they have a right to know it.
And that's what we try to do at Pregame Pros, is make the releases correspond with what the bettor's doing.
Exactly.
All right, now, Marco, you got 30 seconds. We got a $10 coupon if anyone wants this game of the year.
It's his game of the year this weekend, so we're going to make the coupon VR for Vegas Runner. Game of the year, GOY. Just put in the letters VR, GOY, and the number 10. You get $10 off anything at Pregame Pros, and I know what I'd be spending that $10 on right there.
All right, and you're going to have a pick in this Pittsburgh game.
I'm going to have a big pick in this game.
All right, and we also have other hot cappers, so just go to pregamepros.com. Okay, good stuff. Next up is going to be segment 4-6. We move to the NFL, Dallas Cowboys, Green Bay Packers, picked and previewed. And remember, you can get all of our videos at pregame.tv, or if you want to download and listen, just go to iTunes and search for pregame.com.